Hello, hello. Uh, Give me just a second. I'm making sure all my posts have gone out and that I have what I need. Okay. It would appear so. So, today we are working on something I'm fairly excited for. I actually made this a pretty long time ago. And I made it for Matt, who's also known as Tabletop Obscura. And he's been using it in some of his games and his actual plays. So, and the feedback has been good. So now I'm going to be making it pretty here in Affinity and releasing it to everyone. It will be available on my Patreon, which you can see how to access the link down there at the bottom for free. Everything on my Patreon there is free. I do really appreciate any support that is given, but it's not necessary. Someday I'd love to make enough to do this as at least a fairly supportive side gig, if not the main thing that I do, the main work that I do. So I appreciate any support along the way. And with that, let's get into it. I have pretty much everything written up. I might do some minor revisions and whatnot. But for the most part, it's done. So we will play a bit here. Gonna go with a center split, I think, for now, so that we have this even dispersion. And we have environmental dangers. That is our big header. Environmental dangers. Using environmental dangers. Hey, Mix Supercat. So today I am working on prettifying something I made for Tabletop Obscura a while back for Pathfinder 2nd edition. It's called Environmental Dangers. And basically they are pre-plannable or on the fly hazards, not hazards in the way that, you know, you've got a hazard that you add to combat, like a trap or something, but things that are potentially dangerous in a scene, like a bubbling pot of soup, or a spiked fence that somebody could fall on, or dropping a chandelier on somebody. These things are things that you can make up on the fly or pre-plan. And there's ads, so I'll probably have to say this again. I'll repeat after ads. But basically, it allows you to either pre-plan or on the fly create things that are relatively XP neutral, as they require some interaction to activate, and just encourage more environmental interaction with the players and creatures alike. And here, once I get some super basic formatting in here, we are going to deck block. After some really basic stuff here, I'm going to read over it so that I can show what it is, more or less. Oops, this one. And then we will go more into detail. And I'll make the table, because that's the thing that's going to probably take me the longest on this, is making the table. But again, I have everything written out already, and I might make some minor revisions here just for cleaner wording, because I did write this a while back. But this is mostly just to get it pretty and push it out to everyone so that everyone has access to it. Were you able to hear everything, or do I need to repeat because of the ads? Mick or Mike, I'm not sure. I heard everything. Cool. Okay. So we've got these here. Damage. So these over here are just some examples of how they can be written out. They don't have to be real long. They don't need a proper long block or anything. They are relatively simple. These are like how you can write them out if you're pre-planning, or you can come up with them on the fly and reference the table that I'm going to build. But I'll go over them from the beginning, and you can tell me what you think. So, environmental dangers. Throwing a foe through a closed window, falling onto a picket fence, being flung into an actively bubbling alchemy lab, or having a chandelier dropped on your head. Environmental dangers can be all over and generally require active influence from the world to come into play. While some can be written as hazards, the true power of this guy is the ability to quickly improvise additional damage or effects from clever uses of the environment by player and GM alike. Underlying guides. Environmental dangers should always be described to the players to prompt them to use their environment. They might be visuals on a map or described in theater of the mind, the exception being things that are not at all obvious to begin with, such as hazards they haven't noticed. It's less fun for the players if all dangers are secret and only available to their enemies to use first, but peppering such things here and there can be interesting. Environmental dangers should be used sparingly when the subject is already dangerous, such as a trap or hazardous terrain. Dropping somebody into a bear trap shouldn't deal extra damage as an environmental hazard, as they are already taking falling damage and being subject to the trap, similar with dropping them onto hazardous terrain, as they will already be taking damage because of the terrain. However, if the subject doesn't have a dedicated source of damage or effects, you can make them an environmental danger. Using environmental dangers. Environmental dangers are there to help you make the environment more dynamic without hampering the speed of an encounter. In most instances, environmental dangers do not offer a save and are an additional effect applied to the circumstances that enable them. For example, a creature pushed through a closed window might shatter the glass, dealing slashing damage to the creature passing through. Some dangers will only make sense to use once, such as a busted glass window, but may create multi-use dangers, a bed of shattered glass on the ground, which should often be of a lower level. To utilize an environmental danger, a character must do something to utilize it, usually by shoving the creature into the danger, though sometimes tripping them or otherwise forcing them to interact with it via similar actions or activities are available, and encouraged, at GM discretion. The creature being forced to interact with the danger is the one that takes the damage. Some dangers might cause additional effects or conditions. These should deal damage as if they were 2 levels lower, or do no damage at all, depending on the severity of the effect. If a DC is required, use a standard DC for the danger's level, which can be modified for difficulty as normal. So you use level DC, and then you can have hard, very hard, incredibly hard, or easy, very easy, and incredibly easy. There's a couple of a few examples here. We have a glass window, which is a level 0 danger. Enable is forced through the window's space, and the damage is 1d6 slashing. And it can only be used once, which I should probably add in there, and I will. Example, Chemist's Lab, Acid and Danger. It's level 2. Enable is forced into the lab space or forced prone on the lab space, and it deals 2d6 acid damage. And if the appropriate effect for the lab is like maybe they're making alchemist fire, it should do fire instead. But acid is just straightforward and pretty common to that sort of thing. And then Massive Spire, which is like an obelisk or like those pointy tips on towers or something sometimes. It's level 8. And the enable is falls into the spire's space. Damage is 2d6 piercing. Falling damage becomes piercing instead of bludgeoning, and creature is immobilized. So in addition to normal falling damage, it also does an additional 2d6 damage. And the creature is immobilized until it's able to escape. And the DC here is to escape. For the immobilized condition. Danger levels. Much like any hazard, dangers have levels, and you can use this level to help determine how much damage or what kind of effects the danger cause, or determine the level of danger by the damage instead if you are improvising. Dangers do not generally affect the XP budget of an encounter, though if they are heavily beneficial to the party's foes, secret, or otherwise more challenging than tool, I'll have to fix whatever that means. They should provide the same XP as a simple hazard. Yeah, sorry. Table A1, danger damage provides a guidance on how much damage a danger should cause, varied between if it is single use or multi-use. You can use the dice given or generate your own expression based on the damage in parentheses. So, part of this is that it is fairly freeform. It's kind of based either on what level your party is, because you want to keep it appropriate to the player's level, or just sensible stuff like things that anybody could do should generally be low level, like pushing someone through a window. Most windows are just going to be this level 0 one, but if it's like this big grandiose stained glass window, it might be a higher level that does more damage because more glass falls and it's got that lining stuff that's made out of metal in it, stuff like that. So notice a couple things that I'd like to update. First of all, whatever this is, or otherwise more challenge than tool, I don't know what I meant there. I can't remember what word I was trying to use. Or otherwise... Oh, okay. Otherwise, they're more of a challenge than a tool. Than a tool for either party. They should provide the same XP as a simple hazard. Than a simple hazard of their level. Secret or there's more of a challenge than a tool for either party. They should provide the same XP as a simple hazard for their level. Similarly, let me make that a separate sentence actually. Similarly, if they only or primarily benefit the party, you may adjust the XP budget of the encounter by removing the same, or you may actually reword that. You may increase the overall XP budget by the same amount budget of the encounter by the same amount. party and do not require creative use. You may increase the overall XP budget of the encounter. All right, and then in here, I should add a usage, enable space damage, enable multi-use, or actually single use. Multi-use. Single use. I don't like that. I love freeform stuff. It's usually simpler and easier to manage with all the other tasks of a GM. Yeah, that was kind of the point of this. Obscura, if I'm remembering correctly, because this was a while back, so I'm paraphrasing heavily. But basically, Obscura was like, I want my players to be able to, yeah, I like that better. To be able to interact with the environment and use it to their advantage. And so I wrote this for him because it scratched my brain itch a little bit. And that is a good way to get me to start writing something. There we go. So the usage is part of enable in parenthetical. And I'll probably make some more examples maybe. This is probably going to end up being 2 pages anyway because of the table. The table's kind of long, but we'll see. Let's see. Let's do assets. Do I have a spare table sitting around? I have the one from Sinclair's, which I can alter. Yes. Table A1. Danger damage. Right, that's what I called it. I think. Sorry, my wife was just came in to talk to me about something. Delete. Now where did I put A1 danger damage? Yep. Okay. Okie dokie. So need to delete these 2 rows. I need 1 through, or -1, so 1, 2, 3, plus 25, 28 rows, I think, altogether. But I only need 3 columns. Let's auto distribute columns, evenly distribute columns. Not a fit. All right, so we have level. We have single use damage. And we have multi-use damage. -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We actually need one more row. Okay. And then select all of these. All right. And we need to apply and clear. And then line left, update. We're gonna release damage, multi-use damage, level. Yeah, I know it's displacing things off the screen for now. We will deal with that in a little while. Click, 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 click. Actually, that one will be a different color anyway. Cell colors, swatches, Pathfinder. Oh, wrong one. There we go. So, single use damage is 1d4, 2. Multi-use is 1. D6, 3, 4. 1d4 halved, 1. 2d4, 5. 1d4, 2. 2d6, 7. 2d4 minus 2. Asterisk. It's 3. Let's go down here to our bottom one. We merge these cells. Damage cannot be reduced below 1 by its penalties. And then this one. This should be that, and these should be paler. There we go. Do central on those? Yeah. Cleaner. Okay. Back to the input here. $2D8 for 9. Then 2D4 minus 1 for 4. Two, 3D6. 7. 2D4. 5. Maybe I can just copy paste and that'll be a little faster. There are a couple points like this where it's the same dice, but your average is changed. Posture check. Okay. Very good. I was slouching like a motherfucker. I also do a stretch because it feels like I need to do a stretch. All right. I am now sitting more straightly. But yeah, just like in some of the other damage tables you can find in things like building creatures or building hazards, you'll see instances where the dice are the same, but the algorithmic number is different. So like these are your calculated average damages, and they run the same dice, but if you do flat bonuses or recalculations in any way, that's the number you're aiming for. So like you could also do like 5d6 plus 1 here, and it'd be about as valid as just straight 5d6, because almost all dice averages have a 0.5 average somewhere on odd numbers. It's because like the average of 1d4 is 2.5, for example. The only way you end up with a odd number of dice and a non-half statistical average is if you have an odd number of sides, which we don't use dice that have an odd number of sides, but I think they are possible. Well, I know they're possible. I have a D3. But I mean, more complicated ones are probably possible as well. Yeah, copy pasting is much faster. I've seen a D19. Yeah, that's a good example. Like I haven't I've got some weird dice, but the only odd number die I've got is a D3. I've got what are they? D3, D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, D16, D20, D24, D30, D60, and a D100, if I'm remembering correctly. I specifically at one point bought like a really just a box that had weird dice in it because I felt like doing different kinds of generation, and those numbers are good for that sort of thing. Hey Kobold, how you doing? Here on the multi-use side, we've got several duplicate levels where they deal the same amount. Just got up, busy day yesterday, busy day today. I know the feeling. Last night was like my start late day, but my go long night today. I've got a 9-hour shift after this. Alright, so that's our table right there. Plain, simple. It works. It just works. But it's a little chunky. It's a little too big. We can't fit it. I'd have to get rid of danger levels or something. I don't want to do that. So let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can clean this up a little bit and mitigate how much space we need using environmental. Wrong shortcut. So we'll have danger levels there. And we'll put environmental dangers there. And add ourselves another page. Add a page. We'll do a sidebar. Why not? We can blow this over here. And just for this document, we'll cheat and extend our whole text box down a little bit. So I think we can expand our examples by a good bit and give some more examples, while also cleaning up their entries a little bit. I think maybe we clear that and we do a header, example, dangers can be quickly written up if you want to have them on hand long term. What's 9 plus 10? 19. Or 39, depending. Either 19 or 39, depending on whether you mean just those numbers or the implication of those numbers. Which, fun point. It also matches that. How you doing, Kilos? We are. I heard nerds were out. Dangerous, though. Dangerous thought. James, everyone's coming to this stream. So, I've already given Super Cat the spiel, but I'm doing environmental. I'm surprisingly awake for noon. I know that feeling. I woke up at 7, unprompted, and I have no idea why. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep, but I feel surprisingly fine. The stream is hopping this morning. It is. So I'm working on cleaning up and prettifying the environmental dangers that I wrote for Obscura a while back. And we basically got it all plugged in. At this point, everything I already had written, I fixed a thing that was obviously stream of consciousness and very poorly done grammatically, as well as changed up the way these example blocks are being done. And we're just going to make some more examples and think up a sidebar, and then get it pushed out. Not hazards, not in the sense of hazards as, we know them in 2nd edition. These are things like, say there's a bubbling alchemy lab that's on the map, like somebody sees it on the table, and they want to push somebody into it. Lair actions, but lair actions for everyone. Except they're not like, oh, I grab the alchemy lab and I throw it on somebody. It's I push somebody into the alchemy lab, or I knock somebody onto the top of a wrought iron fence, or I drop them onto the top of a spire from the sky. Or I cut the rope and drop the chandelier, that sort of thing. Just things that encourage people to interact with the environment for additional benefit. And they come in two flavors. They come in single use and multi-use. And sometimes single use will generate a multi-use. Like if you throw somebody through a window, the broken glass on the ground might be reusable. You trip them and make them grind into the glass or something. But generally speaking, you have to shove somebody or trip somebody, or otherwise force them into the space. So Okay. I think I'm back. Yep, the dragon's mouth is opening. Okay. Well, I talked about what you said last, James. I don't know if that came through at all, or if my answer, or I guess my answer about the glass came through. Nope. Okay, so, Kilos, I will get to your question in a second, but I basically said I think that making a new tradition is gonna be really hard. Unless you do something like the elemental spell list situation. Just because traditions are rather vast. And asked if you had any spoilers or if it was top secret. Doing it like elemental spell list. That'll shave off a lot of work, which is good. And as far as worst movie I've ever seen, that's actually a really hard question. Mostly because I don't watch that many, especially anymore. But and I don't tend to like think really harshly of media I consume, I guess. Half traditions, combining the four. Oh, okay, so you're doing interim stuff. A quarter or an eighth rotation of the wheel, so to speak. Neat. I'm as far as movies, try tradition. Oh dear, sounds dangerous. Sounds like Mega Wizard. But in terms of movies, I guess I'm really disappointed by like older video game movies mostly. Like like Blood Rain and Prince of Persia, stuff like that. just like Yui Bowl video game movies, because I would watch them because I liked the video games. Personally, like, I know people love to shit on them, but I actually liked at least the first couple of Resident Evil movies. But again, I'm very forgiving of media I consume because I tend to take it on its own rather than in context of like what its broader thing is. And that's just how I am. I'm not overly critical of like things like movies and stuff. Below are some examples. So we've got the glass window, the chemist's lab, and the massive spire. I'm gonna try and arrange these by level. Let's try and cover every other level or so. So we've got a 0, a 2, an 8. Let's do a 4 and a 6. Let's do silver chandelier, danger, level 4. You want to watch a bad movie? May I suggest Faithful Findings, Suburban Sasquatch, or Shark Exorcist? Those sound like bad movies. I guess if you want to get technical in a very after the fact situation, Blair Witch. But it's only bad in outside of the context of its release. It was very good within the context of its release. Because of the sort of meta shit going on around it and the idea that it was real. But it's kind of jank in hindsight. But that's fine. Like, I like janky things too. Like, I'd still watch Blair Witch. Enable. Cut the tether. Cut the rope holding the chandelier up, causing it to fall. Five foot first, single use. Perfect layup to a movie stream. Except I gotta go to work after that. I gotta go to work for 9 hours. Damage. This is a single use level 4. So we're looking at 3d6. 3d6. Bludgeoning counts as silver. Bludgeoning. Silver. So now you've got one that's also like good against werebeasts or devils. Excuse me. Kind of a so bad it's good skeptic. I think when people say that, it's mixed with enough good to be enjoyable and bad enough to create interesting movements and prompts for ripping, it's still good, just in a way that feels approachable and funny. The first D&D movie was like this for me. Oh, the one with Snail? I don't actually remember the movie clearly, but I remember liking it a lot, but I also grew up with it. So, there's that. Like, I think part of it too is nostalgia, and some people just like Jink. Like, and that's fine. They just try to shield themselves from being called Jink lovers. Justice for Snails. Guy didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. Poor Snails. Rocky Horror Picture Show is, I guess I don't know the right term to describe it. I like it. I like Rocky Horror Picture Show. I would not quite describe it as jank, maybe campy, or like just a little strange. I promise the ones I mentioned have nothing redeemable about them. Everybody can find something they like in almost anything. We got our silver chandelier. Let's do let's do that upgraded window I mentioned. So let's do stained glass cathedral window, level 6, 8, no 6, yeah, 6, enable forced through capitalizations, impulse capitals, yay. Forced through Windows space single use. Yeah, see, there's a lot of fun in flawed works. It gets you thinking and critiquing. Critiquing is fun, but if it's all bad, it's a very different experience. In the case of movies like Birdemic or The Room, it's more like the movies are slogs. They aren't really that fun to watch on their own. They make great clip compilations, but you basically need a whole crowd of people to supplement the movie if you actually want to watch them straight. So most of the time, a truly bad film is just unpleasant to watch. Because it just sucks, basically. I suppose that's one way to look at it. I had a horrible time watching Faithful Findings, but it was fun with me and my friend tore it apart. I think that is another aspect too. I know somebody who legitimately likes or claims to like Birdemic, but I think it does partially have to do with that communal aspect. Like, they're a person that likes bad movies, like pretty universally. But I do think it's because they find comedy in the badness, and they like to share that with other people. Yeah, when you have some friends with you, you're effectively enjoying your riff of the work. It's kind of like reading an entertaining review for a bad movie. Yeah. Or was it bitter recompense, as Grimbeard puts it? Yeah, the movie's the prompt. That's a good way to put it, I think. Sometimes, though, there is just something in what is effectively a piece of shit that is still just endearing. Or speaks to an individual. Flashing. It's 46. Oop, what did I do? Glass. Actually, let's do that. Level -1. Enable force through the windows. Force through the into the glasses. Glasses. Base without foot protection or tripped in the or falling prone base. Multi-use. 1 slashing. The movie isn't the entertainment, it's just the, oh yeah, this sentence goes incredibly hard. Personally, I love flawed but compelling work. Sometimes I'm just buy a work on PFI that doesn't look super great and pick through it with a friend to just try and learn from it and appreciate what they were trying to do. Flawed but interesting media is an amazing creative prompt. Like, other than the going and getting stuff off of PFI just because I'm poor. And I don't usually have disposable income. But yeah, like looking at other people's work and seeing like one thing I really like to do is fix shit that's broken in terms of 2E. It's one of the stupid fixations I have. And like I like to go into it and see, well, it could be done this way, it could be done that way. I also like to see unique takes on things. Sometimes like I see a lot of things that I was like, that's probably going too far, but I can see how it would inspire this or do that, and here's another way it could be done. Hell, dangers in a way are that sort of thing where like we have hazards, but a hazard's a little complicated to make for every little piece of the environment that could potentially be dangerous. So I make something that's easier to run, or quicker to run at least. Something that's more impromptu. So we've got a level -1. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, meaning level 10. Let's see. Stasian reactor. Or I should copy. Stasian reactor. Danger. Electricity. Level 10. Shoved into the reactor's coils. Multi-use. And we've got level 10, 66, or no, that's single use, 3d6. So we have 3d6 electricity. a level 10. So that's just shove somebody into it and they get a little zippity zap. Or not shoved. I shouldn't specify the action that needs to be taken. Forced into the reactor's coils. Let's do another one. See, this one's level 12. Let's an ad break. Let's go with me and a friend had this weird challenge we made for ourselves where we watch Faithful Findings once a month for the rest of the year, giving it 4 to 5 total watches. The last watch, I swear, we transcended or something. Sounds like a system of release of just like self-flagellating until you see the light. First tombstones. Oh, what was this? Oh, thank you for the follow, Super Cat. But for some reason, my notification was way off screen there. Appreciate it. I stream 5 days a week, most generally. Most of the time, 11 to 1, my time. Which is Central US, but not always. Sometimes it's a little longer. Sometimes I start a little bit later, just due to either errands or having time off that day and needing to go do stuff. I got hit with an ad, so I didn't hear you. Oh, I said that sounds like you're setting yourself up for a type of relief, like you're self-flagellating until you see the light. Cursed tombstones, level 12. On the whole, let's make it a cursed. Tombstones, unholy void. Forced into the tombstones base or into an open grave in front of into an adjacent open grave. Single use. $5d8. $5d8 void. After which the tombstone cracks. Um, Here's a tombstone. Put it down. Time zones are tough, so instead of converting different times, can you tell me? Yes, now is the generally appropriate time. Yes, for right now it's noon for me. So about an hour before now is when I usually start. You actually came in quite early to the stream, so around the same time. Yeah, cool. Cursed Tombstone. I also have a Discord, which I need to actually put into Twitch. I forgot to do that. Click copy button. Boop. If you want to join, there's not really anyone in there yet, so I need to remember to do my announcements there as well. So if you want to join, I'll be doing announcements there going forward as well, and trying to collate some more of my work there. And when I'm done with this today, I'll also be posting it on my Patreon, which is 100% free. I've got a bunch of creatures and stuff on there too. There's like, if you like Castlevania, I have a bunch of Castlevania creatures on there that I made for 2E. Too many times have I followed a streamer and realized that I caught their stream during a special night stream or something. Yeah, I've done that a time or two myself, or had a streamer's like life change up a bit and their schedule just change. Right now, I don't foresee any particular changes to my schedule. Some days might get switched around to where like I can't stream later, like longer on that day. But outside of that, it's pretty steady. Thank you. I appreciate that. Monsters are sort of my bread and butter. They're the thing I started with and have been doing the longest. So I like doing them quite a bit. I always have. I had a thing back in 1E where I was doing like one monster a week. And I made over 90 monsters doing that. There were a couple of weeks where I did more than one. 14. What's a really nasty word? Muck, grime, mud, mire, sludge, slime, ooze, foul matter. I don't think I want to imply that it's poop. Putrefacted. Yep. There we go. Detritus. Danger. Disease. Poison. Forced into the detrituses. Into the detritus's space. Multi-use. And we're going to also put an effect on this one. So not only do we use lower damage for multi-use, but we use 2 levels lower than this, which is level 14. So we'll use level 12. So 2d10 poison. 2d10 poison. 2d10 poison. Second one. DC. A standard DC of level 14 is 32. Type that in backwards. All right. So we've got one that's higher level, lower damage, plus an effect. Gonna head out now to pick blackberries. Take care. See ya, Kobold. Good luck with the blackberry picking. I wish we had like nice forageables around where I lived. We don't. Sometimes there's wild onions, and that's about it. Putrefact detritus. And the thing is with these, like, you can have as many of them scattered around as you want, because they're effectively just map elements instead of like, oh, I need to have this huge block for a hazard and place it 50 times. You just go, there's nasty poop goop right there. You should not have nasty poop goop for lunch. That was poor timing. Pizza or tacos, my go-to choices that I rarely get to actually have as lunch. Where's my glasses? Falling prone in its space. Tacos and what? More tacos? I'm a taco enjoyer. Have a taco. Tacos and jalapenos. I suddenly feel self-conscious about not saying that there should be a side. Oh, pizza or tacos. Another option. Pizza or tacos. I really like both of those. I said I just don't really get to have them for lunch very often. Sorry, I get to be mumbly sometimes. So are some examples arranged by level. All right, we're getting closer to the bottom. So we have unstable mana rift. Oh, this should also have magical. Yes, magical. Danger, magical. single use. Not capitalized. Impulse capitals. Teleportation. Forced into the rift's space. Single use. Has an additional effect, and we are on 16. So we're going to use the single use damage of level 14, a 4d12. Let's do 4d12. Force. Let's do force damage. It's a lot of force damage, but that's okay now and then. And then forcibly teleported. I'm gonna head out now because it's getting late over here in Europe. Bye-bye. All right, Supercat, thank you for stopping by. Enjoyed having you here, and thank you for the follow and everything. Have a good day, or night, I guess. I'll see you around. Forcibly teleported to a random occupied space within 30 feet. Teleported. On a failed DC. We're gonna give this one. Bro's getting popular. A little bit is 5 viewers is what my thingy says, which is far more than I normally have. I usually have 1 to 2. So hello. You can't see me waving. I just waved at my screen. Hi. And thank you for those who are lurking. On a failed within 30 feet on a failed DC 35 fortitude save. So this one also comes with a save, showing that you can put saving riders on them. But I need to rearrange this. So, of course, on a failed DC 35 fortitude save, creature is also forcibly teleported to a random occupied space within 30 feet. And this one is single use, single 30 feet. The rift collapses in on itself. So this was meant to be like something that you might run into in the Mana Wastes or Alkenstar or something, or just if some really severe magical turbulence is happening, that sort of thing. But let's go back to something a little more mundane and a little more multifaceted. So I'm gonna do Putrefect Detritus again. We're gonna do a level 18. And we are going to do Glacial chasm. Chasm. I think it's a Z. The chasm, or with a Z or an S? S. Forced into the chasm. Chasm space. Multi-use for 16 because it's going to have some riders, so 46. So we do 2d6 not d26, 2d6 slashing and 2d6 cold. The creature falls 5 feet and takes 5d6, or no, not 5d6, 2d6, 1d6 slashing and 1d6 cold damage every time they fail a climb check to escape. Falls 10 feet and takes, creature falls 10 feet and takes 1d6 slashing damage and 1d6 cold damage. We'll tune those down to d4. Every time they fail a climb check to escape. Or every time they make a climb check until they escape. Every time they a climb check until they escape. Or exit the chasm. That's a pretty nasty one. To give it the cold trait. And environmental. There's very few times that this trait matters, but there are a few cases where it does. Environmental. Disease. Mental. Poison. Stained glass. There's, I think it's a Horizon Walker thing, or maybe a Ranger thing, where you can get resistance to environmental damage. So damage caused by environmental effects is reduced. I think we're only going to squeeze 1 or 2 more of these out. So let's do something neat for level 20. Do planar gates edge. Got a dip. I'll send you the half traditions and DMs. All right, James. Feel free to hit me with them, and thanks for coming. Planar gates edge. Danger. Magical. Gotta go see Deadpool. Nice. Enjoyed the movie. Danger. Magical, level 20. Forced into the edge of the portals. Forced into the edge of the portal from a perpendicular. Have fun. You too. From a perpendicular angle. Multi-use. I accidentally put 221s. That's a 20. It is multi-use, so 3d10. Dude. 3d10 force damage if this reduces a character to 0 HP. They are bisected by the edge of the portal. Alright, now, if this d10 force damage, the creature does not take or does not go through the portal, not go through the portal. If it is reduced to 0 HP, its body is utterly destroyed. It can scatter across the multiverse. It's a death effect to living creatures. Alright, this is a death effect. Or if it is slain, no, this is a death effect. Let's just leave it there. Keep it somewhat simple. As complicated as it can be. This is a death effect. And so now all we have to do is come up with a sidebar. And maybe we put an image in here too. I bet I've got pictures I can use. Somewhere. Resources, assets. Oh, wrong thing. Uh, got it. He has the dangers here, maybe somewhere. I'm not sure that these images are going to be useful. Oh, I missed out on just cactus. Didn't think of that. Ah, yes, maximum. Yeah, I can use this and another image I've got somewhere. Where were you? I saw you just a few minutes ago. Do you like Krispy Kreme? Presumably. I've never had Krispy Kreme, but I do like donuts. So I presume I would like Krispy Kreme. I just don't know for absolute certain. I can't imagine that their donuts are bad. So probably. I've never seen a Krispy Kreme in real life. Where is my speech thing? I can do this. This is cool looking. Okay. Now we combine those two things. In which way I forget? In that way. And then we put an FX on it. Inner shadow. Radius. Oops. Here we can just have ourselves a little portal of our own. I guess the question, Kilos, is do you like Krispy Kreme? Is this some sort of test? Are you testing me to see if I'm some sort of scrub about a donut brand I don't know? I very well might be a scrub. You never know. Yes, it's very good. How have you not had it? You're missing out. A combination of poor and never living near one. Like I said, I've never seen a Krispy Kreme in real life. Like, ever. Like, I've seen them online. I've seen them in videos. I've seen them on TV. I've never seen one in real life. I have, however, lived near enough to have Round Rock donuts. Round Rock donuts are the absolute shit. But they are, of course, localized to Round Rock. So there is that. Round Rock, it's a town, here in Texas. It's close-ish to Austin. Ish. I used to live in Taylor a long time ago, when I was growing up, so we were like 2 towns over from Round Rock. Oh, nice. Hey, you could go pick up some Round Rock donuts. They're the shit. No, I'm not that close to you anymore. I don't live near Taylor anymore. I live several hours away now. That's when I was a kid. I lived in Taylor. I've not had a Round Rock donut in like 15 years. Sorry. I wish I still lived near Round Rock. I'd get some Round Rock donuts. I never got them, but they also have giant donuts there. Like, huge. You can get massive ones. Go get you one, you deserve it. That is a very long walk, bro. A very long walk. That's like a 3 or 4 hour drive. And I don't have a vehicle or a driver's license. I think by the time I got there and got back, I wouldn't have a job anymore. That's if I didn't die of heat stroke on the way. Arbitrating enter. Sometimes unusual instances will fuck, I'll deliver to you. That's so much. You know how expensive it is just to send food that far? I appreciate it. I really do. Holy shit. If you're gonna waste that money on me, just send it to me so I can buy food here. Shit. As much as I would love a Round Rock donut, I would also prefer not to worry about like if I'm gonna run out of food before payday. which I haven't had to worry about for a little while. So that's good at least. I'm just got my other stuff, bills and whatnot to worry about. Bills and taxes and all that fun stuff will arise. Even you have pre-planned dangers. If your players think of interesting ways to enable a danger, consider its veracity, even if it isn't something you listed. Dangers can be very freeform and are narratively driven from the surrounding. Narratively driven from the surroundings. Feel free to implement or progress additional ways to enable dangers, or even to appreciate a danger that is overutilized, such as running out of corrosive fluids from spilled acid, or embedding all the dangerous shards of glass in a creature's body. Also, sometimes players may seek to disable a danger. Treat this similarly to disabling a hazard using a sensible skill, utility, or spell to allow a danger to be neutralized using a DC appropriate to its level if necessary. Okay, and I think that's it. We're going to go ahead and export this, and we are going to put it up on Patreon for everybody. So I need to pull that up here. Patreon. Going to create a post. Image post. Because we are going to export these as an image, or as images, rather. Export dangers. Dangers. An impromptu hazard system. The F2E. Environmental danger. For checking the dangers. I'll also put it as a PDF and attach it. PDF, digital small size. Let's go in between at 150 DPI. All pages, export, dangerous PDF, and we can upload the dangerous PDF. As always, this is free. Please consider favorite Doritos flavor. I like Cool Ranch, and I like sweet chili heat, but I have a flavor of multiple kinds of chips that kind of wins out, and that is Flamin' Hot Lime. So they came out with Flamin' Hot Lime Doritos. So that one kind of takes the cake for me. So those are my favorite Doritos. They're supporting me. If you like it. Transcript. I always do transcript with my Patreon so that people can copy paste. This pig step, I believe so, yes. Yes. All this music is through GameStop or Game Chops, which officially licenses and creates remixes of video game music for use on Twitch and YouTube. So this is Pig Step. I've got Sweden, Rubio. I've got a bunch of stuff on here. There's Final Fantasy, there's Metroid, there's Stardew Valley, there's Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross and Zelda and all sorts of shit. And Hotline Bloody Tears is probably my favorite song on the whole list, though. There is also an attached PDF version of this. Transcript. Heading. 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 Ooh. Okay. Next. For public. And hit publish. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to copy the table contents into the transcript. Edit. Edit. table. Ba, 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 ba. Why do tables always copy paste so funky? Why oh why? Almost there. Okay. Now it's ready. Save it. Okay. So, if anybody wants to go take a direct look at it, there you go. And I'm going to go ahead and record a video for it. So we're gonna go ahead and end stream, and I'll find somebody to raid, because I gotta make that video, output it, and then get ready for work. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and I will see y'all around. You too, Kilos. Take care. Same category. Let's see. We're going to go raid Crow Valentine.